We are back in the stream saddle for this week. We didn't have best ball breakfast yesterday, so we're going to draft some best ball mania teams here on Off and on the Clock. I got John and Nez with me. We'll talk through what I missed last week, and then we will hop in these drafts and see what's good. I'm Pete with the Badge Bros. Let's do it. All right, guys, off and on the clock Tuesday. I think the last time I drafted was last Tuesday with you guys here drafting eliminator teams. And now we are back ready to do it all over again. How are we doing?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Welcome back. How was your time with the Dutch?
It was good. You know, it was similar when I studied abroad in Sweden, where everyone thought I was a local and they'd start talking to me like,
No way.
like, yeah, you know, they see the last name and they would, you know, even on like reservations or whatnot, and they would assume that we were local Dutch, and then we had to disappoint them with our American tourism.
Is that actually your like family heritage?
Yeah.
Where's your okay?
Yeah, no, like my Overzet extremely Dutch name. And then I would say I'm like 90% Dutch. My dad's side is all Dutch, and my mom has a good chunk of Dutch as well.
I didn't know that. I'm not good with my my lineage or my genealogy. I guess I wasn't aware of that. So today I learned.
But yeah, it was a good trip. It's like another perfect spot with a toddler, which I don't think people would quite envision. You know, they hear Amsterdam, they just think of weed and red light district or whatever. But that city is so incredibly designed. There's parks everywhere, playgrounds everywhere. Everything was walkable. You know, the canal stops, the you know, the cafes, everything. So it was a good trip for a 3.5-year-old.
It's so livable there. Like we progressively kind of like keep a list of like international cities where it's like if you were forced to like not forced to, but if you ever like went to live somewhere, and that's resided in my top 5 ever since we've been there twice, and I love it there.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it just feels different too. I mean, there's not too many cities, like even you think of Madrid or London, Rome, like you have skyscrapers, you have traditional like downtown metropolis feel. Like the tallest buildings there are like 5 or 6 stories. Like everything feels really different. And then obviously the bike infrastructure is incredible as well. And like even their zoo, which, you know, I probably wouldn't have gone there if we didn't have the kid, but the zoo, it's like you feel like you're in a museum, and then you feel like you're in like an arboretum. Like everything is just so gorgeously manicured. It just reminds you of how poor we are here at you know, designing our city spaces.
Yeah. Now that the way that you're like speaking about it is making me want to like make our next trip there, because everything right now just revolves around like how does my son fit into this? So knowing that it's so kid friendly.
It's such a good fly through spot too, to like a gateway to Europe. Like you can get like really good, well, at least from the West Coast, you can get really good flights to Amsterdam and then go through whatever. Great airport as well.
Yeah. So Nez, you know, that's all the sunshine and tulips, if you will.
Yeah.
The thing is if you have a toddler on East Coast time and then you go to Amsterdam, that's 6 hours ahead, she is not going to want to go to bed at Amsterdam time. She's going to want to go to bed at East Coast time, which meant the first 2 nights it was like 1 a.m. and we're like, please just go to bed.
That's so tough. So
it took 2 days to get her on the schedule. But then coming back was fine because we went to bed so early last night and we were all up at like 4:30 anyways. But the way there, we were just like so tired. It was like, April, go to bed. That's the price to pay to try to pull off a trip like that.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, we are going to draft Best Ball Mania teams today, but we did want to hit on something. I'm sure a lot of you guys saw this from Hope. She posted this, I know, on Instagram and on X, a lot of Underdog people sharing it. I'll just read it here, and we'll obviously include the link in the show notes, and I'll drop this in the chat as well. But she says, hey friends, I haven't been as active the last couple of weeks because I was sick and in the hospital. Here's why. I'm usually someone too proud to ask for help, but unfortunately I need it now. I had a kidney transplant in 2018 and unfortunately need another one now. I'm on dialysis treatments and I feel great, but to get back to living a normal life, I need a kidney transplant. Please consider being a living kidney donor. Click on the Vanderbilt Health link and complete the form. You will list Hope Bishop as the name of the person you want to donate to. Also, please select yes on being a paired donor if necessary. And there's a little graphic here with more information, but obviously trying to get this out to as many people as possible, because we love Hope and hate that she's going through this right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Badges up for Hope. I mean, she's already gone through it once before, right? Here, it's like, yeah, man, so young to be going through multiple donors for kidney. But yeah, I mean, thankfully, like kidneys is definitely something that is easy to find matches for, or easier other than other organs to find matches for. So here's hoping there's someone who's a direct match for her in the near future.
Yeah. Shout out to Hope, man. She's one of the best, man. Like she's always at all these events, and she's a blast. And I really just hate that she's going through this. Really hurts the heart. So I'm glad that she got this out there, for everybody to spread the word. I know she's gonna come out through this. So just sucks, man.
Yeah, another good reminder for the egg avatars out there that are just screaming into the void for a $1 puppy or whatever, that there's human beings on the other side of this, and you don't know what they're dealing with at any given time, and that stems further than just Underdog, right? So just a good reminder to the personal level of connection to these things. Like, it took me maybe 4 or 5 times meeting Hope in person for this ever to even come up or be part of her identity, that she then shared these stories with us, and then we knew behind closed doors kind of thing. But obviously didn't realize to the severity of her needing a second transplant here.
Yep. And, I think we mentioned this when there were the initial layoffs with the Underdog Draft team, and with Hope stuff as well. A lot is falling on Numi and other people behind the scenes, so she can take the time to take care of her health and this stuff too. So the usual PSA for patients with that squad, and obviously they care about the feedback, and they need to know, when things go wrong and stuff, but do it with some tact, right now as they work through all of this.
Yeah, we actually went through this with one of my buddies recently, where he's been needing a liver transplant for a long time, and we all went and got tested and then saw what could happen. And his brother actually wound up having the surgery and doing alongside him. But all of us became organ donors through the charitable acts as we went through it. It's a little bit different in Canada, but we all became organ donors because of him, basically, and just something I never would have considered otherwise.
Yeah, Jordan says here in the chat today, I learned living kidney donations don't reduce lifespan of donor. Had to do a quick Google. I'm very ignorant on this stuff as well, and I'm sure there's a lot of misconceptions about how that actually works. So thank you for unearthing that, Jordan.
Yeah, because I'm not a doctor, obviously, but you have 2 kidneys and you only need one to live, kind of thing. And yeah, I have a cousin who lives without one, and whatever. If you're a match, you can afford to give one up, and it's not as invasive a surgery as some of the other stuff.
Yep. Nick mentions that in the chat as well. As someone who has lived with one kidney his entire life, you can live and function just as well with one. Please check and see if you can help. Thank you guys in the chat for sharing that. Like I said, if you're listening back to this or missed it in the chat, I will put this link in the show notes, both the Hope's initial tweet, even if you're not taking the plunge to sign up to donate yourself, just I think sharing this and getting it out to as wide of, or casting as wide of a net as possible would be great. Mm-hmm. All right. Is there anything you guys need to fill me in on? I mean, I want to say the Rashee Rice news had broke last Tuesday. Obviously we had the Jackson Dart New York Giants stuff, but from an actual best ball movers and shakers, have I missed any actionable news over the past 6 days or so?
It's slow news season right now. Let's get in here and just draft the fun plays.
Yeah, nothing's changed really as far as targets for me at the moment. Tucker Kraft is running in a straight line, so I'll take that.
It's that part of the calendar. It's
and what I think a bunch of mini camps are starting soon, so we'll probably start to get more. Someone's in the best shape of their life, running around in shorts, kind of talk.
Yeah. It's big physical therapist season right now, where guys are looking at the way Judkins is hitting his corners and his holes right now, things like that. But I thought Judkins looked good for what it's worth.
Yeah,
I was working on the Overzets overview because we are going to do Swolecast today, and it was too even inside baseball for the Swolecast, but I started workshopping a joke that Rashee Rice has requested Gumby to be his physical therapist in prison. Nice. With the thought he could use Gumby as kind of a meat shield in there as well.
I mean,
but that's just
I've heard of guys going on the prison workout plans here to get fit. I think, Pete, you went through an era of prison workouts, did you not? Where you were using the playgrounds and stuff like that. I've never heard of prison rehabs, though. I mean, this is a little bit of a different angle.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Gumby, when he got bounced from the show, his pitch was he said that nobody actually wants to get player takes. They just want to make fun of each other. And guess what, Gumby, you're off the show, but I'll happily continue to make fun of you still. So you're all right. Yeah, as far as other stuff, what have you guys been drafting? Like where have you been? Have you been in the time box stuff? I know we had the Frenchie, Eliminator, Frenchie Superflex. What have you guys been drafting?
I did 2 pit bulls over the weekend there. And then I am currently, all my slows of the dog that I couldn't pronounce are now done, the $8 one. And now I got 6 BBM slows. I was actually going to ask you, Pete, but obviously you weren't in slows, if you were able to navigate the Underdog app in Europe there, because I'm going to be traveling next week. So I'm afraid to enter more slows right now.
Dude, I am I'm a best ball bro fraud right now. I'm not in any slows. I didn't attempt to draft. I have still yet to draft off stream right now, but I promise it's coming. It's coming once I, break, the cherry, so to speak. The fun won't stop, but for right now, we're easing into it here.
Yeah, the Frenchie Eliminator was so awesome. I feel like they have like no choice but to run that back because that filled so fast.
I was gonna say, didn't even see it
all fast. So kind of, which is good. I love that they do that. But I was busy. I had my folks in town, so I didn't get a chance to sit down and grind that thing out. But yeah, I got like 2 in there. But that was such a sick format. I'm just in the Pomeranian and Superflex fast draft streets right now. I'm excited that we have a Pomeranian because, I'm holding on to those BBMs. I'm almost done with the pit bull. So the Pom, being able to flex that regular BBM format muscle is nice. And 50K to first is no joke.
Speaking of that approach, did you guys see that someone's already maxed BBM? One of our dog bowl qualifiers? Yeah.
Yeah. Dude got second place in BBM and is, just full speed ahead.
I will say, I mean, I guess it cuts both ways in that you don't need to go heavy into BBM right now because there's so many other things to draft. But you could also say there's no reason not to just, finish this. And then you can just be ready to pounce on all the time box contests. Because what do we know? Right. There's going to be time box contests on August 20th too. It's so you're going to have to eventually figure out how you're going to get in your entries to the flagship, for people who want to max everything. But yeah, we are traditionally gonna stick with some of the side contests. I'd love to get back in the Superflex streets. We owe you guys a weekly winner show. Obviously, Eliminator, I think, will be something we kind of constantly revisit throughout the summer just because we all love that format so much. But because I didn't get to scratch the BBM itch yesterday on Best Ball Breakfast, I was thinking I could draft here with the bro. So I'm going to hop us in a BBM, one more snap filled, and we'll get popping here.
All right, let's lock in.
What number is this officially? I did not see there.
Question. Yeah, let me get that on the ticker here. I'm going to go. This is going to be Best Ball Mania 31.
Nice. Okay. I mean, that's a pretty good dent because I'm at 10. Nez, what are you at?
I've got like 6 slows going from the promo. And completed, I have 3.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Let people know, what was that? Is that promo done? Was that a flash promo?
Yeah. It was draft 5, get 1 free. And I think if you were holding on to that ticket, it might still be there. But I used mine 2 days ago.
I don't know where my phone is, but it's I think it's 6 days after you entered your last one.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Yeah, and from what we've heard, it seems like there's going to be some more of that kind of stuff coming, so you can keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
They're definitely a great, like stir up draft stuff when there's no news going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, for sure. All right, we got the 1-5. I feel like I've had this draft slot a million times. I should sync my exposures after this. I do have a ton of JSN, Jonathan Taylor, and CMC. Who do you guys want to take of these three?
Amon-Ra. Okay, take your pick. I was trying to get you your first Amon-Ra share.
Well, we could hold out. We will just trust that RNG eventually balances out, right? It has to.
Yeah, it has to. It has to.
That would be hilarious to have like a 0% on a first rounder in max, and it was just all accidental, and you just kind of stubbornly were like, I'm never pulling this guy up.
Just never. Just accepting the RNG gods, what they're telling you.
I mean, what's the tipping point to be like, hey, I'm never pulling him up? Like, if you were at like 140 drafts, like, would you pull him up for the last 10 and have like balanced exposures like that? Like, just regardless of draft spot that you rolled? I
think if I was just like drafting my 150 teams in the quiet of the night or whatever, I would absolutely do that. But at that point, as a streamer, I might just lean into the bid equity of being like, Amon-Ra St. Brown is the player I hate the most on the planet, and I hope he fails spectacularly this season.
Make it your whole brand.
Yes, exactly. All right, CMC here at 5. I mean, I feel like the other, kind of nonstop talking point right now is, have you guys been mixing up your structures at all? Have you found a way to combat the RB heavy starts, or those feeling optimal? I know, Nez, you've been kind of floating a 0 RB heel turn I've seen in some places.
Yeah, no, I'm following through with that too. All of my pit bulls so far have been 0 RB variants. Yeah, I'm really trying to make this thing work here. It's a different form of 0 RB, I think, than like what we're used to drafting, or at least what like I think people are used to thinking about with 0 RB. But I like the way that they turn out. I think these are still like really good teams and still really underutilized. And it's just way too much recency bias in terms of, the thesis of the play here, and that like, oh, it can never work. Well, when it does work, you got one of the best teams in the tournament. It's a clean thesis.
Mm-hmm. We just haven't seen chaos at the running position as much in the last couple of years here. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, we'll see what Patrick Barnes YouTube does here at 2-7. He grabs Drake London. I definitely like Chase Brown a lot here, but good with any other suggestions.
Yeah, let's take Chase.
Yeah, I'm fine with Chase Brown.
Nez, with the 0 RB stuff, have you found some late round targets that are kind of your go-tos to actually pull it off, or that make you feel like maybe your running back rooms are stronger than the field would perceive them?
Yeah, so there's like a mix of contingency plays and guys that I think kind of have potential standalone value. I'll answer the question, but I really think that like where I'm trying to make this work is really like kind of living in that round like 4 or 5 running back tier of like, hey, you're still 0 RB, but like you can't like be an idiot. You have to take an RB1 at some point or bank some projected points. So like I do a lot of like David Montgomery, Chris Rodriguez, Dobbins, Bill, things like that to kind of bank some points while then balancing it out with, the contingency bets at the back end. Right now I have a ton of Brian Robinson as a contingency bet, nice. a ton of Tank Bigsby, Sean Tucker, Tyler Algier, Katron Allen, guys that I feel like I am confident in their ability to put up points if the situation arises where they're able to kind of have the backfield to themselves. Is where I'm placing my bets.
Dude, I like almost all those names you. Let's make this pick here.
Yeah, Rashee's the faller, Breece Hall, Josh Allen, Devontae Smith, Olave. What do you guys like?
Devontae or T for me.
I'm cool with Devontae.
All right, let's do it.
I want no part of Rice. I mean, like I've been like a big Rice fader for the first couple of years, and this is just layering on even further.
Where has where have you guys seen him going in kind of like, has anyone getting like 4th round Rice? Is that happening?
I haven't seen 4th yet. I've seen back end of 3rd, but I haven't seen 4th.
Latest I've seen is pick 33.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm with you, man. I want no part of it.
Catch me up on it, because I saw the initial stuff last Tuesday, and then I haven't seen like any additional analysis on it. Is the chatter like, okay, this is actually going to be the time something happens to him?
I think Silva had the best take going, where it's like, how much can you really push the envelope and get away with this long? And then like embarrassing the Shield, he said it. And that was like Lev repeating him saying that, I guess. And I was like, it's so true, man. Like that, the Shield matters in the NFL like more than like some of these other leagues and stuff. And they do let guys get away with a lot of stuff to a tipping point. And like, there has to be some recourse and like repercussion for a guy who's been in the league 3 years, and we've been talking about suspension like 3 different times with him already. Like, what's the tipping point?
Yeah, I agree. Right now, like, it's very up in the air, and I've seen more takes than not that he won't get suspended, but I think it's at best 50-50. Like this is crazy. The main thing that I'm seeing as far as like, hey, how this can affect his performance was he had a cleanup procedure on his knee before he went, and he's not in prison, he's in jail, and jail is actually worse conditions than prison. So like, it's actually like not great because he's in like a cramped like cell. So it'd be better off if he was in prison, but he's in jail.
First prison breakdown is elite.
Dude, it's like it's a real thing. It's terrible conditions there. Like,
if he was in prison, at least he's getting outdoor hours and he's running on the grass.
No one's stretching him there.
We are on the clock by ADP. Luther, Bucky, Evans, JMO, Solver loves Adams. Burden.
I like Adams or Waddle.
Adams or Waddle.
Am I going to get this?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I got it in time. Yeah, Adams is definitely lower in the ranks. It does, or in the ADP, definitely a flattish tier here.
It is.
But we grab Devontae Adams with Devontae Smith. We have Christian McCaffrey in Chase Brown. The solver also alerted me to the fact that 33% of my Christian McCaffrey teams have Luther Burden. So a nice little wide receiver combo diversification there.
I hate that I'm like the no fun guy on Luther Burden, but I am very concerned about his ADP and his price. I hate to be a no fun, like I got to see it first guy, but so many of these guys around him have done it and are proven to be good. A lot of questions, I think, for Luther Burden coming into this season. Like, he's not even really the number one target earner, most likely. It's probably Loveland. Yeah, I'm a little worried about his price, but he's so fun that, you're paying that premium.
Doesn't it feel a lot like just kind of we're about to enter, the JMO era with him, set aside, JMO had the off-field stuff, but like that kind of like you're paying a premium for those spikes, but there's going to be a lot of lows.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, which is good, right? I mean, that's why he's appropriately priced, but he goes ahead of JMO. I think they're the same.
McLaurin, Evans, DJ Moore, Solver suggestion, Lamar here, Rome, Jadarian Price, Watson.
I like any of the top 3.
Terry.
Let me get that in. There we go. Did I?
Terry does set up my favorite pick in the 6th round in the contest too.
Yeah, if we can, if we can get there, if we can get who's a 6th rounder I can throw people off of. Yeah, if we can maybe get an Alec Pierce fall, that would be awesome. But
yes,
we'll I love that you thought you were being coy by saying he sets up a player that I won't mention. who could possibly pair it well?
The pizza audience doesn't know. They're like, oh, give me the goods. Give me the goods.
What do you guys think of this take? If you ain't a Burden bro, you got to be an Ndunze bro, right? Do you agree with that? If
so, no,
or the other,
not really. No, because I think it's like an offensive thing. I think I'm worried about like how sexy and awesome this offense is going to be. I don't think that they're going to like set the league on fire with scoring. It just doesn't. That really wasn't what they tried to do last year. And they trade away DJ Moore. I don't think that you get like more awesome by doing that. I think they try to play more conservative and let Caleb do things, when he has to, and not like put the entire onus on him to lead the team. That's kind of like where I'm at. I'm worried about the pace, and I'm worried about the way that Caleb, gets his fantasy points. We love Caleb Williams, like as a quarterback, man, like clearly like an awesome real life quarterback, but okay, buddy. But in terms of fantasy, I just don't think that it's like, I don't think the upside is there for what his ADP is telling us it is. I could be wrong, right? It could just be as simple as, hey, Caleb Williams is awesome, Luther Burden is awesome, draft this team. But I do kind of worry about the offensive ceiling.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clean to bet on systemic failure more than it is to bet on one versus the other and having like an isolated take.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's also the playoff schedule that scares the shit out of me. Like 2 games at Soldier Field.
We're on the clock.
Yeah, we could do a Brian Thomas. We could do a naked quarterback. What do you guys like?
I'd probably do naked Hurts, but I'm good.
We have Devontae.
Oh, Devontae. I completely forgot about that.
There you go.
Yeah. I wonder what that's interesting to me. Hang on. This is let me make sure I have my right solver up here, because I was like, it seems weird that it's not suggesting Hurts to me. I think I was under Eliminator from last week still. I wonder if that was impacting it. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to crank up the stacking preference.
Yeah. Yeah, we set that up pretty nicely to give us 2 outs at an elite quarterback in the 6th round there. Take notes at home, people.
What do you guys think of this? So obviously that June 1st deadline that has been referenced ad nauseum as far as the AJ Brown trade that everyone basically agrees is going to happen. We also seem to agree that it's never fully baked in. Do we agree with Nick's premise here that this is the last week of getting AJ Brown in round 3? And once people see him in those photoshopped, blue, gold, and red Patriots jerseys, he's then a round 2 pick.
I do tend to agree, yes, but I think it might have less to do with him going and playing with Drake May as a Patriot, although I do think that is probably a slight increase for him. We're on the clock again.
Alec Pierce, Tony Pollard, Cortland Sutton, Jalen Warren, Tucker Kraft. Who do we like?
Kraft.
I'd do Pollard.
Kraft or Pollard. Take your pick.
All right, let's get another running back. Why not?
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's more about like the Neighbors fall right now, the Rice fall right now, and people wanting to, have those anchor elite running back teams on the left-hand side of the board and bring up the next, alpha wide receiver who it could be. I do think it is an upgrade over Hurts, especially the way Hurts has passed the last 2 years. But like, how much has AJ Brown's ceiling really changed? Like, the ceiling was still like 1,408.
A lot. It changes a lot. The likelihood of him, like the median outcomes just get so much better. The mean outcomes get so much better. Yeah. And when you look at, if you could just go up real quick, Pete, the wide receivers that he has to jump, like the case, we talk about this a lot, where like the resistance at guys ahead of him, like he's now the wide receiver 1. So he kind of gets that over Pickens. He's obviously jumping Neighbors. Collins has CJ Stroud versus Drake May. People much prefer Drake May, and then Drake London has either Penix or Tua. He could even get to like Drake London's ADP, I think. So we're looking at a potential like wide receiver 4 after this. Like, I really think that you're going to see a huge increase in his price.
I think you guys were both kind of agreeing there, because Nez, weren't you saying that more saying the floor gets better? Because I think the ceiling stuff feels similar to me, but like the floor and like the week to week volatility of, hey, it's just a Dallas Goedert week, it's just a Devonta Smith week. Like, that's to me what I get excited about not having to deal with when he's in New England.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, it's hard to argue otherwise, because he has those. He's had those numbers with Hurts in the past. It just seems like the years of that happening again are just like over and done with, and not that we'll ever get a chance to find out. But that was like my thought was like, I think this ceiling is different now. But again, that's, we'll never know. Oh, interesting.
Is there something about DJ Giddens? Did something happen to Jonathan Taylor in the past 30 seconds? He just went.
How does that happen?
All right, we got wide receivers here: Jacoby Myers, Michael Wilson, Chris Godwin. Those 3 sound nice to me. I like Godwin, but who do you guys like here?
Yeah, I'm good with Myers or Godwin.
Myers.
Oh,
It's all right.
Oh no, I think I got it. Ooh, no, I didn't. I could have sworn I switched it.
I did
prefer Godwin, but
oops.
No, I don't mind Godwin. I don't mind Godwin. I get a little skeeved out over the health stuff, but like otherwise, I think he's in a really good spot. So I'm not worried.
I might throw my hat in the ring there for Dart and then shutting it down at two QBs as well. But I think we gave ourselves some good options here because we can end with Stafford, we can end with Baker now. We can still do like, Purdy to CMC. Like we got a lot of options. It wasn't necessary. It was just
also
he was on the cover.
I mean, guys, what happened to us? We have not even mentioned Eagles versus Niners week 17, Hurts, Devontae, CMC, and we have not mentioned Tampa Bay versus the Rams, Devontae Adams and Chris Godwin, little mini correlation week 17. I mean,
there we go.
Crazy. I still need to work on my mnemonics, man. The only thing that I got through my head is Wisconsin Dells. That's it. That's the only thing I have.
It's stuck.
Yes. That was so good. I think I'm going the Shope route, and I'm just like remembering them for who they are. I'm going to remember the Rams play the Bucks because the Rams play the Bucks.
Yeah.
Like that's how I'm going to know.
Yeah. You either remember it straight up or you hate mnemonics so much that you are then forced to remember it by the what you initially hated.
Yes.
We could do Solver likes Brock. Kyle Pitts is hanging out here. Stafford is well with Adams, so we have options.
I think I'd quarterback or Worthy. John?
Let's do Worthy and push it. I want to see what happens.
Yeah, I took Worthy there at the last second. I mean, that has to be the tandem, right? Like, we were talking about, does it have to be Burden or Rome or whatever? Like, there is, to me, a very strong correlation of like the more time Rashee Rice misses, the more valuable Xavier Worthy is. So if we're going to, sink Rice, we got to be inching up Worthy, right?
I am. The labrum thing last year maybe is like could be the worst thing that ever happened to me because I'm back in unworthy because I'm like, well, I'm writing off that season. He had a torn labrum, but now this price is like totally fine to me. I think like this is like Worthy can give you really good weeks at this price. I think so. I mean, I get there's probably better floors out there, but I think Worthy's still a really fine pick here. Especially with the Rice stuff, like we just said.
I just noticed the new Trevor Lawrence headshot on Underdog, and I was staring at it for a second. I remember the original source material, but for a second, I thought it was a Mark Zuckerberg photo here as I stared at it on the screen.
Please no.
Here's the squad so far. We got the Jalen Hurts at quarterback, CMC, Chase Brown, Tony Pollard at running back, Devontae Smith, Adams, McLaurin, Godwin, Worthy at wide receiver. We do have the quarterback run happening here. Kyler goes, Stafford goes, Love goes, Purdy goes. Still think it was worth taking the stab there on Xavier.
Yeah, I'm glad that we did. We could probably make this a 7 wide receiver team if we wanted to. We're really hitting the capital pretty hard here. This is going to be a nice balanced team. I like the way this is coming together.
I
like this team right now.
I'm loath to say his name, but this is just special work from Eggers here. He takes Josh Allen in round 3, whatever, but then just has to take naked Brock Purdy here at pick 108. The second we put it in the queue for him, he knew this was his chance to get the Gumby treatment, get mogged by his Badge Bro heroes on stream. Just unbelievable stuff from Eggers there.
What's he setting up?
What's this guy cooking? So we could do like a Baker with Godwin. There are naked Tyler Shuck bros out there. What do you guys like?
I like the Baker consolation prize. That this was what we take our medicine for pushing it to try and get kind of like a super build.
We are going to take him, but the bye week bros are going to come after us. Double week 10 Hurts and Baker. So
that's fine.
It's fine. Cam Ward with Tony Pollard. Who says
come on down? Yeah. Come on down.
And we by taking Worthy, we freed up a roster spot to allow ourselves to take 3 quarterbacks on this build.
That's true.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Okay, so we have the 2, 3, 5, no tight ends yet, but that is no problem here. That's why it's like even though I like Tucker Kraft, I do find myself just anytime I'm like 50-50 on a decision involving a tight end, just going away from the tight end, knowing, I mean, look at the board right now still. Kittle, Kelsey, Ferg, Andrews, Kincaid, Likely, Goddard.
Yes. 100% agree with you.
It almost seems like there's like no real wrong approach to tight end this year. Like, I feel like everything works.
Yeah, like even the punt for tight end super late looked decent to me.
Yeah, they do. They look kind of good.
Yeah.
I think the wrong approach, if I had to pinpoint it, would be living in the tight end 17 through 23 range. You know what I mean?
I'd have to see who that is, but I think I get you.
So Goddard's the stack. I also love Kittle. I mean, I'm down for any of these guys. What do you think?
I want Kittle.
Yeah,
let's play the bring back side of that 17 instead of playing the Hurts to Goddard. We look at our research from the masterclass. When has Hurts ever had a weekly score that's supported 2 pass catching options?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very, very seldom. So I'm with Kittle. We're gonna go 3 tight end here. We can get 2 guys to kind of buoy that early week, that early season stuff with Kittle, assuming he's not ready for week 1, which I don't think so. But you get having him in the playoffs, man, at that price, that's gonna be nice.
If you guys are tuning in for the first time or tuning in late, this is Off and On the Clock weekly show every Tuesday at noon. Generally, we're going to be focused on the side contest, time box contest. But because we had no best ball breakfast yesterday, we had to scratch that best ball mania itch. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and make sure you guys are subscribed to the Badge Bros channel, where you guys can get daily strategy for all of the different sports. Are we done? How close are we to hoops? Is hoops now done with just like 1 game, 2 game slates?
We'll see if they run out the salary stuff for the finals. I'm fingers crossed that they're confident enough that we can find a way that works to run that out. But yeah, with Eastern Conference coming to an end last night, the 2 game slates are done. But I'll still talk a little hoops to start the show on members only there, because people are sweating the dance, and people are just invested in playing the redacted side tonight or playing some pick'ems, etc.
Who do we have anyone in the community who's got a Thunder Knicks or Spurs Knicks shipper set up in the dance?
I saw Knicks wings. I think David tagged us on Twitter. Knicks wings, SGA team, and then Spurs like Castle, that sort of thing. So it's pretty nice, and it has but it's it's like a 3.5 team build that it's probably going to need a little help to get through. The bye week throws, are they going to hate us? Oh no, we're good. Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, I think I agreed completely, Kittle over Goddard, but I think Goddard at this point makes a ton of sense.
Yep, guy that's soon to rise too. So
there you go. Steven's telling us in the chat there he's got Wemby and 3 Knicks. Okay, that's pretty strong.
Nice.
Aaron's got 5 Knicks, 5 Spurs. Oh, didn't get out in round 1. Yeah, exactly. For good reason.
Yeah. Cleveland killed my dance finals. Yeah.
Cleveland killed everyone's dance finals because all of the OKC and Spurs stuff on the left side of the board was paired with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Squads 2, 3, 5, 2. I mean, we are very balanced positionally here. Hurts and Baker at quarterback, Christian McCaffrey, Chase Brown, and Pollard at running back, Devontae Smith, Devontae Adams, Terry McLaurin, Chris Godwin, Xavier Worthy at wide receiver, George Kittle, and Dallas Goedert at tight end. This feels like a don't drop the baby kind of team. I like this one.
Can we do a little bit of homework and look at the running backs? Because we are officially in contingency territory here. So, okay. We don't need to definitely don't need to reach for any of these guys, but this is what we're thinking about.
I've already penciled in Sean Tucker on this team in the 18th round, 17th round. Don't worry, buddy. I got us covered.
Well, Egger's just gonna pen him in at the 13th, 14th turn.
So. I like Tank on this team as well with the big Eagles stack.
Yeah,
always like Brian Robinson.
McMillions.
I've been on the Hurst side of that, but you can sell me on it.
I'd be McMillions or Jennings.
Or we get that third quarterback.
Jennings.
You want Jennings?
Danny Dimes is fine.
I got Jennings at the last second.
Okay.
So I did notice that Cam Ward went. So it's just like how scared we are of a bagel week 10 and how we want to plug that hole potentially.
I do want to get a third QB, but I don't care about it being stacked. It's mostly just like getting some points for that week.
Yeah.
Do like Tua and Branch or something.
Yeah, it's just like, man, it's.
I would love Mendoza.
Like the value of the roster spot with a 50-50 chance of covering that bye. It's tough.
Right. I would prefer something more solid for that third QB, considering we have 2 of the same bye weeks.
Yes. Yeah. So that, I put, to me, like Ward obviously would have been the clean suggestion there. As far as quarterbacks, we feel pretty good about playing in week 10. Daniel Jones, Bryce Young, Fernando Mendoza, Aaron Rodgers, and I guess like Geno and Brissett's definitely going to be, that's like the Brissett line, like week 10. Geno, I guess, is what? Probably maybe like a week 11, week 12 line for him.
Yeah, I'd push Geno's line further, but I was also the guy who pushed Russ Wilson's line a bit further last year too. So maybe I'm not the best.
Jackson Dart was waiting in the wings. Who's waiting in the wings for the Jets? Cade Klubnik? Cade Klubnik?
Yeah, Klubnik. Yeah, right.
Klubnik?
Yeah. Or Brady Cook, right?
Yeah. He's I think he's practice squad.
This is the kind of research. This is the kind of feedback and help we need from the chat. When we're talking this through, I need comments like Heaves here who points out that Rodgers has Cincinnati in week 10. All right. Less trolling, more helping your protagonists on stream in their drafts.
Love this, man. He's our guy now.
Let's see. Oh, okay. And then the Raiders in week 10 have Seattle. So,
okay. Mendoza just went. So good luck with that, Tubins.
Yeah. How you going to, can't possibly win the contest with the,
so Bryce Young does go. So I think we probably just have to pull the trigger on the Rodgers stuff.
Yeah. There's still back stacks too, which is nice.
Yeah. Okay. Rodgers, how much ADP has he moved in basically since it was confirmed he was playing?
Like 20 picks, 30 picks. I mean,
yeah, he still falls sometimes in rooms.
He does. I did see him go like round 18. Maybe it was with us, John. Maybe that was you and I where that happened. But I was still shocked to see him fall. I think people still think Arthur Smith is there. I really do. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Pete.
No, I was just like, yes, he's a year older, but they did beef up their weaponry. You bring in Pittman, you draft Jeremy Bernard, which DraftNix liked a decent bit. And, Darnell Washington, like coming into his own last year too, as a pass catcher, giving them, more, just a more dynamic offense, I think.
And if he hadn't broken his arm, his stat line would look better too.
Yeah, good point.
This is a pound the table. This is probably a running back pick. I mean, B-Rob or Bigsby look good to me.
Agreed. I'm good with either. Eileen B-Rob. Never mind.
Well, that makes it easy.
Yeah. You guys like Tank here?
Yeah, love Tank here. Love it.
He had some nice games last year when when he got end of blowout run kind of thing. Like I just keep remembering that, like 10 carries for 100 or whatever it was.
I mean, he looked good, man.
A little bit of
yeah, fresh legs.
What do you guys think if Barkley went down, God forbid? What do you think Tank Bigsby's touch projection per game would be?
17.5.
Yeah, wow. I think he would get a ton of carries, assuming that they're favorites. Like if they're like 4.5 point favorites, I would say probably like 18. I think he would just get a ton of carries.
I mean, if you guys are correct on that, I mean, he's really undervalued. I think I would guess like 13 to 14 touches. And even then I think he's a good pick in this range, but yeah, I mean, if basically, because that's the whole thing with some of these backs, right? It's like, who would get 18 touches a game in the event of an injury? And there's not a lot of these guys that I think would.
Yeah, exactly.
So he played week 18 by himself last year in that Washington game when they rested. He had 16 carries and 1 reception, so that's 17 touches. He played week 14 against the Raiders, and he had 17 carries and 1 target. And then that 9 for 104 in mop-up duty against the Giants. So to be fair, he wasn't very successful in the Raiders or the Washington game. Like, he had a very nice game against Washington, but the Raiders game in particular, he wasn't overly successful when he had the backfield to himself, but I wouldn't read too much into one game.
Yeah.
But benchmark was what, about 17 there?
3, 4, 6, 2. Solver likes us to stack up Cade Otton here with Baker.
That's easy. He not only is he just like a good stack, I think he's the last like pretty good tight end on the board other than like Darnell, but I would prefer Otton to Darnell if I can have them straight up.
Yeah, especially if we don't think Kittle's going to be there to start the year. You know, you get a couple weeks where how truly different is Dallas Goedert and Cade Otton from a projection standpoint when you have the quarterback stack with them? Like, if we're playing week 4 BRs and Kittle isn't in there yet, and we have them, you know, who's going to project for more kind of deal, it would be like, oh, just flip a coin kind of thing. Take the tight end who's tight end 11 versus tight end 8 on the slate.
Yeah.
Yep. 3, 4, 6, 3. Probably, I mean, would like to most likely add a 5th running back and a 7th receiver here. We do have a couple Tampa Bay guys that I think both make sense. Ted Hurst and Sean Tucker both fit this team like a glove.
I've been workshopping a Ted Hurst comp here, and I think he's kind of like rookie season Jalen Coker. How does that sound?
I'll need you to expand.
Yeah, I need you to. It didn't immediately read. Let's decide, because we're probably gonna have the choice between both here. Who? Yeah, we do.
Tucker.
I would take Tucker on this team. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, as far as like running backs, like there's not very solid running backs left for him.
So
we leave a spot for Calvin Austin backstack too. There we go. Get that one done.
Do that on your own credits.
Oh man. Yeah, okay, so I just mean it in terms of like low volume, high ADOT. He gives you like 2 usable weeks this year kind of thing.
I guess I don't think of Jalen Coker like that.
Yeah.
But rookie year Jalen Coker.
Okay.
Yeah, like rookie year Jalen Coker, where it's like, we can't trust this guy out there, even with a little bit contingent upside, to be, you know, running consistent routes, would kind of be my take.
Okay. I mean, I like Ted Hurst.
Mm-hmm.
The just quotes that I've seen, like Jacob Sanderson kind of boost, was that they seem like he has like the edge over McMillan and on the outside, which was like, oh, okay. Like that's really interesting. And they draft wide receivers pretty well. Like, they're kind of like the John Stein. They have had a pretty good track record of like adding receivers. I mean, even McMillan had his time in the sun before, you know, they added everybody else. And Hurst is like a deep threat. He's pretty interesting. He's catching some steam.
I'm surprised he's still, because we were kind of maybe interested in Jeremy Bernard on a team like this. And I know Hurst has moved up, but I'm surprised he hasn't taken a bit of a bigger jump, because all of the coach speak and everything is just paving the way for him to be on the field in 3 wide receiver sets.
Yeah, that's what I've seen.
So with McMillan being the odd man out there. So if you're we know that the wide receiver 3 in Tampa can eat. I mean, we saw Tez Johnson eating at stretches last year.
Little guy.
This was the reason I think I was having a hard time wrapping my head around the comp, John, was just the UDFA for Coker round 3 capital for Hurst. Yeah. But that's bullish for Hurst. Like, they're going to be more invested in getting him on the field. You guys have a deep wide receiver you like here?
Do you want a deep one? Skylar Bell.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, sure.
If you want deep instead of like Cooper Kupp's 100 fantasy points.
Right.
Yeah, I can only click Cooper Kupp so many times. Sorry, Solver. Talk to me about Skylar Bell, Ness.
Just a little bit of a runway in Buffalo for him to have a nice season. DJ Moore is there. DJ Moore is I respect DJ Moore, but coming off a bit of a down year. We have Khalil Shakir, potential tightrope surgery. He's coming off an ankle procedure. He's wearing a brace in OTAs right now. We don't know how close to 100% he's going to be. And then Keon Coleman, Mr. Cookies out here. Like, is he having a bounce back season? Or are we just thinking that he's going to all of a sudden like bounce back? I'm not so bullish. I like Skylar Bell in college, man. He put up really good numbers for UConn. Thought that he was a really under the radar selection for Buffalo. Just kind of like a professional wide receiver. I think like a better Josh Palmer would be how I would comp him. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm taking some Skylar Bell, really underdrafted right now, and playing for Josh Allen could really feast. I think if things broke out right for him.
Tell me this, Ben.
Yeah, let's recap this bad boy here. 3-5-7-3. Jalen Hurts, Baker, and Aaron Rodgers are week 10 bye week mercenary. Our running backs, Christian McCaffrey, Chase Brown, Tony Pollard, Tank Bigsby, and Sean Tucker. Wide receivers, Devontae Smith, Devontae Adams, Terry McLaurin, Chris Godwin, Xavier Worthy, Juwan Jennings, and Skylar Bell. 3 tight end room, George Kittle, Dallas Goedert, Cade Otton. Pretty fun build from a correlation standpoint. We have huge bets on the Eagles and Tampa Bay. We also have bringbacks for them in week 17 with CMC opposite the Eagles, Devontae Adams opposite Tampa Bay, and even Aaron Rodgers and Tony Pollard exchanging blows there in week 17.
That's right.
How do you guys feel about this team?
I really like it. I would definitely give this a certified fucks. Yeah, I was thinking about some other names instead of Skylar Bell at the end, but Ness sold me that pen. It's funny, I had Keon Coleman on the list of the scroll that I was building on the side here. But no, I love the correlation of this team. It feels, I don't know, it feels like safe, but then has a bunch of like 17 ceiling.
Yeah, I think I think I would call this a safe team, but we have, some stashes here of like potential, like, oh my God, like this team is dirty. Obviously with the running backs that we drafted for running back 4 and 5 that have super, super strong contingent upside that if they hit, like, oh my God, this running back room is insane. I think in terms of like how this team wins and what we need to happen for this team, I would probably look at Godwin and Worthy being the guys that we like need on this one for this like really, really work. Like the running back room, I feel super solid about, assuming health. The quarterback room is really well-rounded. The wide receivers, I think, really need Godwin and Worthy to step up and fill in those weeks where like Devontae Smith doesn't catch a touchdown or maybe Terry doesn't catch a touchdown. But if we get Godwin going back into form and maybe being an alpha in that wide receiver room and Worthy having some spikes, I think that this team like is really, really sick.
Yep. Yeah, and I'm trying to think any, regrets or where things didn't quite go to plan. I mean, we would have liked maybe a slightly better, like we could have done the Daniel Jones as the QB3 there and mixed around some of those other picks instead of Juwan Jennings. But otherwise, this was fairly clean.
Yeah, I guess the only thing we could go back and poke holes at is burning a roster spot by doing the Baker thing and just, streaming kind of vibe. So if we took, I guess the 1v1s or 2v2s would be if we took Stafford and or Purdy in that spot, how much better does this team look? Probably Stafford, to be honest, over Purdy, even though I think I kind of like Purdy in a vacuum more. I do subscribe to that 2 quarterbacks from the same game in week 17 being a little bit of a no-no. So yeah, all in all, pretty big fan of this team.
It's also, I mean, I feel like over the years, Tampa Bay stacks have always been somewhat expensive, but when you're looking at pick 116 Baker, pick 92 Godwin, pick 188 Otton, and pick 197 Tucker, I mean, like that's now clearly in like punt offense backstack territory there, which feels good considering kind of their pedigree over the years.
And to be honest, like how different is that? We were kind of poo-pooing on the Caleb stuff. How different is that than pulling the Caleb stuff up at their ADPs and being like Luther, Caleb, like obviously Loveland and Otten isn't like comparable, but like how different truly is that Tampa stack that's like 4 rounds cheaper than if we had gone Luther, Caleb, and then like Manungai later kind of thing?
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good comp between the two. I mean, no one's doubting that Caleb's the more talented running back, and no one's doubting that Luther Burden's the more talented, pass catcher than anything that Tampa's got. But Baker's like perennially like overperformed, in like year in year out. Like last year was his worst year, while he's been a Buck. Yeah, no, I'm with it. Like I really am.
All right, shall we do one more here, fellas?
Oh yeah,
please.
All right, please, 2 more to join another BBM here.
Can we do a little bit of a schedule convo, just because we did Eliminator and the rest of the world did schedule-based content there, and we kind of focused on week 1 instead of like the 15, 16, 17, just for a hot sec. But like, I guess everybody was in agreement, and Pete put in the newsletter like that, like, Dallas was like a riser or whatever, but like it just stems from the Chicago conversation being like at Buffalo and then 2 games that are division rivals in Soldier Field versus Packers versus Detroit there. Like that seems like a loser to me in like a decent way. I don't know. We were also talking about the Philly versus New England for AJ Brown spot. Like the New England, week a playoff schedule there is at KC, at Jets, home versus Denver. Like you get the Surtain. Like I don't like to go matchup hunting, but you get the Surtain treatment in week 17. I don't know, just anything that stood out to you guys like schedule wise that we haven't talked about together.
Pete, anything?
No, I mean, I guess, the thing I was trying to do when I wrote that up in the newsletter was like balancing a few of those things of like just being agnostic about the team strength and even the totals, and just like who plays in warm weather, who has the domes, who has just like the totals set up to just be in potential shootouts, but might have some cold weather scenarios. And then like there's also the element of what actually lines up, if from an ADP standpoint. Players like the Lions, right? Like there's not that many great values on some of these teams that you can even kind of take advantage of from a portfolio standpoint. So I do think you're trying to triangulate a few different things there. But yeah, I guess I haven't had any takeaways of like, I really want to tilt my portfolio in this specific direction.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't have enough confidence in myself to like be thinking about what my team will look like in week 17 and the confidence of knowing like how these games are going to go. I'm pretty agnostic and jaded to the schedule stuff right now.
So I thought this was going to be my Amon-Ra share because we have 1, but someone took Genty, so we could decide between JT and keep my Amon-Ra bit going. What do you guys want?
I think
keep it rolling.
We got to go with the bit, man. Like I like Amon-Ra a lot, but we have to go with the bit.
Jonathan Taylor there. Can we see solver settings? Sure. Let me, I think I need to go to window.
Yeah.
To show you those.
Yeah. Austin's been messing around with it, so we've shared it a couple times on stream now.
Yeah. So you can see, you can set your toggle to player ADP weight. I have mine between low and medium. Team stacking importance, I have at medium. I could toggle it a little higher. Week 17 importance, medium. Let's toggle a little higher. Week 16 importance. This is what we were talking about this year, where week 16, I actually might flip these because of the 1 of 14 in week 15's a higher bar to clear than the 1 of 12. So you could maybe, I think these were just default, but I would maybe bring week 16 down and week 15 up just a smidge there. And then there's a bunch of other just like preference settings as far as displaying solver scores and your exposures and stuff.
Awesome. Yeah. Solver guys did give us a little bit of a rundown recently that, Solver is working on the redacted stuff now with the combos tool. They got the schedule in there, ability to filter contests now in the combo tool. So you're not going to see you're not going to see your eliminator exposure overlaid to, yeah, there you go. Perfectly.
You want me to get rid of my dash hounds, John? From these?
Yes, there you go. Right. So you can see if it's BBM specific.
On the clock here, Kenneth Walker, Derrick Henry, Chase Brown. You guys like anybody?
Big dog go Burr.
Yep.
Look at this. I have paired JT with Kenneth Walker a third of the time, Chase Brown a third of the time, but no shares of JT with the big dog. So let's do it.
You're scared of those bye weeks. I get it.
Some would say I'm not scared enough.
Some might say that. No, I'm big dog. I'm pro big dog here.
But yeah, that was a good. I do love that one too, and I'm excited for this one in the dailies as well, of being able to filter out specific contests, because that was the one thing really missing for me last year with the BRs and the Wildcats, and like I wanted to be able to segment it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, it's perfect, man. It's I can't imagine drafting heavy volume in the daily streets without it, to be honest. It also supports WNBA now for my WNBA heads out there. There's no projections within it, but you could still use it for combo filtering. So yeah.
There you go.
That Pickens pull up has me like thinking about doing something fun. Not that it's probably bad, but doing like a CD Lamb Pickens start, because the only way you could do it is by pulling up George Pickens, or taking CD like way early, but that's not quite as fun.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we always talk about. Like, there will come a point later in the summer where you'll be staring at your solver thing. You'll have Lamb and you'll be like, I have 0% with George Pickens. And if that Dallas offense, which has, like we said, one of the sickest playoff schedules, is dropping 35 a game and Dak is cooking, they could very much be the guys you need.
Yeah.
100%.
But I will also say, maybe, Pickens is a guy that could have some volatility, in that he's a guy that could easily get displaced by the AJ Brown guys moving up into round 2. So then it's like the danger with that game is that at some point someone is able to get round 3 round 3 George Pickens and squeeze in an extra pick with it, basically.
Yeah. The nice counter to it is it matters like considerably less in BBM than a daily slate.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I'll just take Jacobs and see if we can make it work.
Dude, this is like, if high T is the meta in 2026 with these starts, I mean, does it get more testosterone filled than Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, and Josh Jacobs to start?
These guys were 5th round picks in BBM 4. Like, we're all looking for the guy, but now look at us.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor, a pick past ADP, Derrick Henry right at ADP, and then Jacobs slides 7 picks in this one.
I like it. Very interesting there. Like, we kind of had the neighbors conversation a little bit there and the cleanup and the timeline, but like, man, miss me with drafting Ted over neighbors or neighbors over Nico in that spot.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think. So yeah, what were the weird things that happened? I mean, Josh Allen got pulled up to 25. You mentioned Ted Arroyo goes 27. Nico slides all the way down. This room is wild. Camp Scatabo just went at 34.
Wow.
The Scata boys be mounting up right now.
I guess so.
It's hard not to be nervous about Scat, but I also want to just like say screw it and be overweight. But I'm a little scared.
This is my thing. Scatabo next to Javonte Williams, I'm like, sure, like I'm on board. But then you see Scatabo like 2 picks after Josh Jacobs, and you're like, man, that feels real frothy.
Yeah. That instance aside.
Wow. I'm not even gonna read this comment out loud.
Nice.
Igbuka, Lad, Burden. We already kind of had that combo. Bucky.
I'm pounding the table for Lad right here.
Yeah, John's the Lad guy.
I'm the lad guy.
The lad.
Yeah, I have a decent amount of Lad, 16%. I have a full fade on Igbuka going right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty off Igbuka, which, I'm worried that he just sun runs again like he did last year, but also it feels like the right move.
Do you know what'll happen with Igbokwe? He will look like dead for like 8 weeks again, and there'll be all the victory raps, and then he'll do his sun run thing, but on the back half. And he'll basically have put together 2 seasons where it was like fast start, dog shit, close strong, and we will have no clue what to do with him in 2027.
Yeah,
I like it.
100%. Yeah, I can already see it happening.
Here for that problem. Charger schedule. You get the Miami revenge game at Miami in week 16.
That's nice.
Dude, McDaniel's already cooking up plays for that one. He's got them on the back burner right now. He's got like a stack of plays this high on the left side of his desk, and then he's got a stack of plays this high on the other side of Cook Miami in week 16.
It's a good weather schedule too, right? Two home games versus the Niners and the Chiefs, and then your one road game is in Miami.
Dude, those Niners Chiefs games could go popping too. That's fun as hell.
This is like an entire, you have the the Shanahan tree revenge there with San Francisco. Then you have the Miami, and then KC. That's your new division rival right there.
Could be fighting for the division in week 17 versus each other there at home.
Green Bay's schedule here, they're Miami at Chicago, Houston. That's one of those Josh Jacobs, do your thing in the regular season, because I don't know if I'll be holding my breath at Chicago and home versus Houston.
The Packers schedule and the Chicago schedule are the two that I was like most bearish on.
We could running back max with Swift. We could grab. I also like Christian Watson a lot if we want to go double Green Bay.
Let's Swift think? It.
Swift and shut it down?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. JT, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, DeAndre Swift. The Libs are officially owned.
Let's go.
We live long enough to see yourself become the villain right now. This is
stuff that this used to be stuff that only we would do on our own time, John. And then people would be like, "Oh my god, like these guys, doing the bits over and over and over." Like, listen, man. Let's look at us now. I think people just realized, like, hey, like we're all good at drafting. Like we should just do different things, and like we can draft these teams well. Like we know like what needs to be done from here on out. I think there was just a lot of skepticism about making it work.
The Jackson Dart ass running back room.
This is the first time in previous years we kind of got into the weeds on the round robin for teams as far as like double dipping your correlation, and Goomba points out, actually, let's make this pick. Yep. Alec Pierce, Metcalf. We could do naked Jaden Daniels here.
I don't hate it. Like the wide receivers, who do we have?
Marvin Harrison, Pierce, Lemon, Parker Washington. Let's grab Daniels.
Let's just take Daniels, man. Who cares? Yeah, he's the best pick on the board right there.
But he was just mentioning that the 49ers, the Chargers, and the KC are one of the few trios that overlap for two playoff games there. So thank you, Goombas.
That's a sick little synergy.
So this is the second time this kind of comment has come up, but Blake is saying that you are fudging the definition of zero RB. He says Nez calls this a zero RB team. Do you have anything to say to Blake?
I don't understand like where this is just a common Blake brick. Like, what are you talking about? Literally, what are you talking about? I don't understand.
Charlie, where has Neighbors been going? He just went here at pick 28. Do you guys remember where he went in the last draft?
I think he went to the 101 or the 102.
Yeah, he didn't fall.
He didn't fall.
I mean, I would consider that not falling. It was left side of the board.
Yeah, he went there at 26 and 28 in our two drafts this morning.
I mean, maybe you get some really good news, and I suppose like best case scenario, right? Like, and I know this isn't likely, but like Neighbors is at OTAs or not OTAs, but he's at training camp and he's good to go and he looks good somehow. I guess you do get like a round of CLV where, and maybe it doesn't move enough, but like you could potentially see him go like wide receiver 4 in that, but like that's just like that's like a 5% scenario based on everything that we've known. So it just, I'm not, like no offense to the Neighbors Raptors in these rooms, but it's just like I just can't believe that he's not falling like enough yet.
Yeah, You're hard pressed to match ceiling for him in week 17 in a contest like this, I guess. But people have to remember that like the era of like Dayball just funneling targets to like one isolated guy is like gone, you know? Like I don't know what Matt Nagy's tendencies will wind up being, but
Sutton,
like,
Reed, Addison.
I like Sutton. Good. Yeah. Get us a professional ass wide receiver here that's just we need something to anchor some points right now. And you could poke holes in the Addison deep ball accuracy stuff with Kyler. And we just talked about how we didn't like Packers' schedule, even though it correlates. Honestly, you could kind of argue that Jaden Reed negatively correlates with having Josh Jacobs on your team for the playoff weeks, but it correlates for a season-long bet.
Right. Sutton is such like a eat your vegetables pick there for the wide receiver room.
Which we needed in the first 6 rounds. We have 4 running backs and a quarterback. So we need some vegetables here.
Definitely.
Jaden Daniels at quarterback, Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, and DeAndre Swift at running back. And we now have Cortland Sutton and Ladd at wide receiver as we head to pick 8.5 here in the middle of the 8th round. I'm going to tab off our running backs here. Jordan Addison, Michael Wilson, Chris Godwin, all here. If you go a little deeper at wide receiver, you got Quentin Johnston, Jacoby Myers. Herbert is gone. Bo Nix, ADP of 102. We pick again at 104.
I can do without it.
Yeah.
Well, we got mini camp live beat reporters in the chat here.
Mango Tide Kyler just tossed a 50-yard TD to Addison. Are you there?
Easy game, baby.
Addison, Wilson, Godwin, QJ, Jacoby.
Addison or Jacoby.
Yeah, Jacoby. I think Jacoby fits the roster better, but yeah, good with either.
All right. We're gonna hit a lot of volume at wide receiver, so I think an Addison ceiling shot is totally fine.
Yeah.
He's a big question mark for me. Like I don't feel good about drafting him. I do draft him, but I don't feel good about it.
Who is that? Sorry.
Jordan Addison.
Yeah.
I do really worry about his range of outcomes.
The thing that stinks to me about it, and the quarterback switch, that adds a little bit of variance, but I'm kind of just like, if we think Kyler's going to cook, then I think Addison's going to cook too, but it's more so he played that like wide receiver 2+ role in a way that, in the same way Devontae Smith or Jalen Waddle alongside Tyreek, they could pop up for those 9-10 target games.
Yeah.
I worry that he's way more in the 5 to 6 target. Jawan Jennings is now kind of stealing some of that target ceiling from him. That's what concerns me with Addison.
Yeah. It probably just a bad taste in my mouth from last year. I almost certainly, because he had a really, really good rookie season as far as like spikes he provided, and then sophomore season was way more consistent and really solid. So yeah, I mean, I think we're pretty certain he's a good talent. I don't think there's any worries about that. It's just a Kyler thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Jacoby Myers comes off the board at 101. Here's an interesting choice because it looks like we'll be able to have both options: Bo Nix with Sutton or Kyler with Addison.
I would say Kyler.
Well,
but maybe we don't need to like double down. Maybe it's not a necessary double down, but I don't think Addison works without Kyler. But maybe the team isn't dead without Addison doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? What do you think, John?
I think I'd take Bo Nix, or I'd push it. I was going to ask, what do you win when you win? But like you win Josh Downs, I'd take Bo Nix.
Yeah, I mean, I like getting a quarterback here. I think it's close. I just did the Bo Nix ADP game there. I think you could entertain a 3 quarterback build with Kyler here still and just be like, we are going to absolutely rip 3 tight ends and what would it be, like 5 more wide receivers?
Yeah, it would have been a 3-5-8-3.
Minnesota, Detroit, Washington at Jets. Denver obviously play outdoors, have a little bit of snow concerns, but they get Vegas in the Dome, and then they have Buffalo at home, and they have at New England to close.
I'd also just like to point out the chat has been clarifying the breaking news. The good news is Jordan Addison did catch a 50-yard bomb. The bad news is it was J.J. McCarthy who threw it to him and not Kyler, which is why we went Bo Nix. Had it been Kyler, we would have done it. Should we do the Xavier Worthy thing again? He just slid 9 picks past ADP. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like we gotta. I know everyone likes different picks, but Worthy fits this team so nicely. And past ADP, come on, man.
Yeah, fully agree with you guys there.
So here's the squad: 2-4-4-0. Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix at quarterback. Our 4 running backs up top: Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, DeAndre Swift. We are now building out our wide receiver room. Ladd and Cortland Sutton, followed by Jordan Addison and Xavier Worthy. 2 consummate professionals at the top. 2 speedsters down below there with Addison and Worthy.
That clip was from last year's training camp.
Is this what are we doing here, guys?
No way.
Incredible. This is incredible bit.
I don't know if we can trust PPR Tyler. He's been spreading a lot of disinformation, misinformation lately. So,
oh my God, it's such obvious bait, man. And I mean, maybe I'm way too online, but I've seen this clip.
We are that starved for it that it's like we just have spent in the chat collectively 15 minutes on a highlight from last year, and we didn't even have the initial highlight right.
You know whose fault it is? It's Theo's fault from Fantasy Points. He quote tweeted the fake tweet. The OG.
Did he do
fantasy.
It with like a GIF?
No, he provided analysis. With the clip, like easy bet at current cost was the final remark.
We could grab like Jake Ferguson, our first tight end, or you could do a Shakir, Diggs, Shaheed, Travis Hunter type pick.
Diggs, let's win.
I like Diggs.
Speak on that.
I think when you just have a wide receiver room like this, where we like ate our vegetables a little bit in the middle, like we need a ceiling shot, and Diggs kind of fits the mold of like, he was really good last year. People forget, but like he fits the mold of like, if you win in this round, you win, 3 rounds of like, how different is Diggs and Addison if Diggs hits ceiling? So like, I think we need to win at wide receiver when we spent all that running back capital early.
Yeah.
CLV,
we
definitely a CLV winner too.
Yeah.
Like,
so
what if this AJ Brown trade doesn't happen and they just bring back Diggs? What if it's all just smoke and mirrors, media bullshit, and then Diggs is just back? Like,
well, I mean, I like the pick a lot. Then, if that's the case, but
what if he goes to Atlanta? It feels fine.
Yeah. It feels okay. Would you rather him go to Atlanta or Vegas? Maybe that's a dumb question, but
I think Atlanta.
I think Atlanta too.
Oh, okay. I would have said Vegas.
Yeah, I need to think that through a bit. But I feel like there's a little bit. Yeah, let's talk it out. But Goddard, Ferguson, Shakir, Shaheed.
Ferg feels good here.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's still 3 tight end room, 4 tight end room.
Probably 3.
3 with Ferg.
Are you guys good with a Jaden Bo Nix room, or would you be itching for a third?
Nope, I'm good. I'm good with this.
Yeah, I'm good with it too. I mean, like that's 650 fantasy points, 700 fantasy points.
Yeah. I guess the question, I could see Raiders being better. I guess I was just like, he operates, I feel like, in a lot of similar spots of the field is Bowers.
Okay.
But their wide receiver room is such trash.
That's what I'm thinking, right? Like it's really bad. I feel like I don't know. Do they really go into the season with just this room? I don't know. It's really bad.
And yeah, but does he want to even go to an Atlanta or Vegas? This is the age old. Is he just looking for a bag, or is he actually going to try to go to a contender?
Yeah. I don't want to, armchair psychologist, but yeah, is Diggs like that concerned about winning? But
yeah,
KC would be nuts.
All right, back on the clock here. Jennings would have been fun with Kyler. Sadiq, Henry, Strange. What do you got?
I think I take Henry.
I'm cool with Hunter Henry.
The other thing, we could grab the rookie with Jaden too.
Sure. Yeah, either one works.
All right, I'm gonna do Hunter Henry first, and
no Eggers in this room, so we might get Williams to fall back.
Jake Ferguson, Hunter Henry.
I'm thinking about wide receiver depth charts right now. Which wide receiver has the highest cap hit this season? Because I thought it was going to still be Devontae Adams on the Raiders. I don't think it is, but like, who do you think has the highest cap hit on the Raiders this year?
Well, I'm guessing they're not on the team.
No, he's on the team. Wide receiver.
Jack Besh?
Jalen Naylor?
It's Jalen Naylor.
Okay.
Nobody's drafting Jalen Naylor, and Jalen Naylor.
No, people are drafting Jalen Naylor.
Jalen Naylor's 100% drafted.
Oh, is he? Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I don't see his name when I draft, but people are definitely drafting.
Neither do I.
Oh, there he is. He's right there. Okay, never mind. I'm tripping.
Yeah.
I thought Tucker was going ahead of him.
There's definitely a Trey Tucker hive as well. Antonio Williams, beauty, comes back here. Let's do it.
Lovely.
It's weird that Antonio Williams is kind of like a nice pick now in the 14th round when he was like free like at the start of BBM. He's just like one of those caught steam somehow, and I guess it's just because of who his quarterback is and people needing backstack options.
Yes. Let's see here. Austin says Washington a contender. They might not win 7 games. They're over under 7.5. I still think in this league, anytime you have a top 5 talent at quarterback, you're just always in the deep run conversation. And it really then comes down to like health. And do they have one of their wide receivers like step up essentially alongside Terry? Because I mean, Jaden is, we saw him go blow for blow on the road against Goff 2 years ago. Like they were firmly in the mix of it, just a young team. I would not write them off as a playoff contender just because they had one season derailed by injuries.
Fully agree with you, man. And then if you want to talk about like the fantasy angle of shit, like Atlanta at Minnesota at Jacksonville for a playoff schedule. Like I'm all in on Jaden Daniels in the 6th round right now. Like I click it every damn time it's there.
Yeah. But I will say, Austin, to your point, when I looked that up, I was expecting their total to be like 8.5. 7.5 surprised me. So good looks.
Yeah, that does that did surprise me too.
we played the guessing win totals game with Numi, and he went and ape shit when Vikings were not like anywhere close to the Lions or Packers, and he actually exploded. It was so good.
That was like peak tilt Numi. It was so good. I think we have a short of it. I gotta find it.
Oh my god, it was funny.
Yeah.
2-4-6-2 here. Jeremy Bernard, Stribling, Flournoy, Ridley, Pat Bryant, Ayuk. If we want to play him to Commanders.
Let's win it. Let's win the tournament with Ayuk.
All right, man. We're gonna take a lot of these wide receivers, so might as well take some shots, right?
Someone in the chat was asking about Ayuk earlier. I still fully expect him to play football this year. I think what I read with the contract situation is just kind of like a standoff where the Niners aren't going to want to pay him and teams don't want to give up anything knowing that they're probably just going to release him so they don't have to pay him. So it's just kind of a waiting game. Which if he gets released, that's good for his optionality of just going where he wants, right?
Okay, I'm going to write. Yes, fully agree with you, Pete. Yeah, and this is like the writing's on the wall that this is where he wants to be, and the depth charts suggests that they need that to replace the Debo stuff, to need that, not like archetype of player, but they just need that, next player, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a fun question. Let's make this pick first.
Yeah. So we have a 2-4-7-2, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, our 4 running backs, Jonathan Taylor, Henry, Jacob Swift, our wide receivers, Ladd, Sutton, Addison, Worthy, Diggs, Antonio Williams, and Ayuk, our 2 tight ends, Ferguson and Hunter Henry. Looking at the tight ends again, we're in that same range we were last time with Otten, Freiermuth, Njoku, Stowers. Could also grab a wide receiver of choice. Katron Allen also popping with the correlation as a potential running back 5 here.
I'd keep it at 4. I like
Trey
4.
Harris.
Yeah, Trey Harris is good.
Okay. Let me did I get this in time?
Nope.
Yes. Don't doubt me, Nez.
Oh, I saw it stuck. I didn't think it was registering on the HTML.
There we go. Trey Harris, come on down. Yeah.
We got week 16, week 17, and we got Ladd already. So like that one makes sense to me. Another like, what do you win when you win?
Yep. We have Nix and Hunter Henry week 17. We have the Ladd, Trey Harris, and Worthy week 17. So yeah, in good shape there.
I've seen mixed reviews. Like Christopher in the chat just says Katron's a great pick. Like Katron could be inactive for the first 5 weeks of the season, or he could be their goal line back and 8 carries. Like I've seen it both ways. Like I don't know what to think about Katron, but I don't know how you could confidently say, hey, he's a great pick right now in this range. Like maybe he's a great pick for our roster right now because we're building out that stack and that looks like an ambiguous running back room. But I don't know how you could pound the table and be like, that's a great pick. Like,
the Commanders like fucked with my head last year with how they traded away Robinson. It was like they clearly love Bill and then barely use Bill. So I don't know what to make of their decisions there.
He's expensive, but sorry, we're up.
I think it's tight end.
Who do you like?
Who?
I don't mind Tunges. Okay. An early season guy here.
Yeah. Might score in our flex a little bit early season.
I think we could. I'm glad we went tight end there because I think it is a conversation, an 8th wide receiver, a 9th wide receiver, or a 4th tight end.
I would say wide receiver.
Here's the room.
I can agree.
Ladd, Sutton, Addison, Worthy, Diggs, Antonio Williams, Ayuk, Trey Harris, tight ends, Ferguson, Henry, Tungus.
I mean, this team is begging for 100 points from Cooper Kupp, but I don't think we can be those guys. If you guys want my fun question yet? No, let's concentrate on this pick. It's a good roster.
I was seeing if there was any bring back stuff. Washington plays the Jags week 17. We already have a New England bring back for Bo Nix. Pat Bryant is the classic stack there with him.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, Pat Bryant or Franklin or that rookie tight end that Denver has.
Jolly.
Oh, wait, they have Jolly? I thought Jolly was
is he a Seahawk?
Oh no, you're right. I was thinking of Delp. Jolly and Delp.
Justin Jolly.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Pat Bryant makes sense, right?
Yeah. This is going to play right into my question for you guys.
Okay.
So I'm putting in the chat right now because I want chat to weigh in too. Gun to your head. Ayuk, Diggs, Rice, Neighbors, Tyreek, who was available there, Keenan, who's available there, and Debo, who plays more football games this year. We have 2 third-round picks. We have 3 mid-round picks and 2 guys that are free in the last round. Probably fringe Hall of Famers, but won't get in.
It has to be Diggs, right?
Yeah, it's Diggs.
Because you have legit injury concerns on Neighbors, Tyreek. Keenan, I think you have like legit, like of the hierarchy of players who are going to get signed, he's the closest one to retirement, I feel like. Rice is for sure going to probably miss some time, right? And Neighbors is for sure missing time. So isn't it, it's like Ayuk, Diggs, and Debo are probably the top 3.
Yeah, which is crazy. Yeah, I don't know.
And then Diggs is probably the first to sign of Ayuk, Diggs, Debo. Maybe Debo beats him to the punch.
Maybe Debo. Maybe
it could be a flip between Debo and Diggs. I mean, Diggs is a better pick, but as far as who plays the most games, isn't Diggs more likely to stay healthy than Debo?
I would think so, yeah. Just given the track record. I mean, he had some funky shit like the pneumonia and like weird stuff like that the last couple of years. But the archetype of player is the way he plays. Why you would sign him would be like contending team to give him like six targets, 2 of which are dump offs, and like 3 or 4 carries. Like that doesn't set itself up well for an aging wide receiver to stay healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting one. And obviously we're not, this is literally just a prompt about games played, not about the guy you need and all of that jazz. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I guess the other interesting way to frame it, because all of these guys, there's news that could break, either 1, them signing with a team, or 2, health/suspension. It's like, which of these represents the largest potential for CLV? Like, say Rashee Rice dips, but then it's like, all right, Rashee Rice is fine. Like, could you get the round 4 Rashee back to round 2 jump? Or, Tyreek, honestly, like, of all these guys, if they got like the best news or whatever, doesn't Tyreek jump the most of any of them?
That's where my lean was. And that's kind of why it was a fun question for the, a punt wide receiver team effectively that we had. This was kind of like the robust RB team. That like Tyreek, the what you win when you win. And I mean, we can't factor in that Tyreek hasn't been good the last like year and a bit, but you can, chop some of that off to off-field and injury stuff. But like, what do you win when you win in the last round with Pat Bryant versus Tyreek? What do you win? Yeah, I don't know. Like
the game you win drafting in May is you have a much higher likelihood of avoiding a 0. That's what you're winning by that selection. But to your point, what they can contribute to your roster from like a roster tilting week winning standpoint, it's not even close.
Yeah.
No love for Keenan for you guys.
I just feel like Keenan has kind of done the cat who has 9 lives thing, and he's like banked the perfect late window landing spots, like rolled right into it, where these like unproven rookies alongside him, where he could be the veteran. And now it's just like, how many times can he pull that move off where you get the good quarterback, the unproven other wide receivers, and he just waltzes into 8 targets a game again?
Yeah. Kansas City seems live.
Yeah. I mean, if Rice gets suspended and Keenan signs, he will have just pulled that feed off again.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe this is just lazy bro science, and maybe they don't want it in the building anymore. But don't you think if like Rice's timeline gets pushed in any way, or there's suspension news looming or something, that it's just like default that they're just going to go the Tyreek route? Like Kansas City isn't going to do Diggs or Keenan or whatever when they can just have Tyreek again.
Yeah,
but like, when's Tyreek even going to be on the field?
Right, I don't know.
Yeah.
The someone in the chat mentioned we just got a blurb about Bucky.
Yeah, you got to see this, man.
Check out this fucking quote, man. Bucks head coach Todd Bowles, Bucky Irving expected to return sometime, wait for it, during the summer. Or wait, or the fall.
Or
the fall.
Pete, just for the audience, when do they play football? In what season? When does the season start?
Yeah. And for people who maybe live somewhere where there aren't traditional seasons, generally there's 4 of them. They kind of break up into the year in chunks of 3 months. So normally if it's a specific season, you're looking at a 3-month window.
Sure.
We're looking at potentially a 6-month window for when Bucky could return to action.
And, a Tampa Bay fall is sort of later in the year than most regions of the country's fall. So I don't know, man. One of these quadrants of the year. I don't know. Don't ask me. Don't ask me that.
This reminds me. I have this bit like, so April and I, we go on this walk by in our neighborhood, and there's been like permanent construction. They're building like another subdevelopment in our neighborhood, and it's just been ongoing for years. And it's always like, hey, look at the excavators. They're being lazy again. They're not doing anything. And today I said to April, I was like, it's nice out and they still aren't working. She's like, I think they're waiting for summer now. Like, she's like, because it used to be they're waiting for spring, because we used to be like, yeah, it's winter, they're waiting for spring. She's like, I think they're waiting for summer now. And now I'm starting to think Bucky's waiting for fall. You know, that's what I'm worried about.
Oh, that interaction. I'm such a dad. I'm like, wow, that's gonna be so fun to talk about the seasons with my
child. So there you go. I mean, Sean Tucker's about to boost, right? Like, people are gonna, whether rightly or wrongly, are gonna adjust to this news.
Yeah, sure. I've been waiting for it, man, because he hasn't been in OTAs. Yeah. You know, like we've been known this, so he's been like one of my favorite back end clicks for a few weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Bucky did also have like the mental stuff last year, where he was talking about like not loving football and like retiring from football and like stuff like that, behind closed doors conversations that were taking place, that like, you know, football isn't life kind of thing. And you just layer on that the dude's hurt, might not love it as much. Like, I don't know.
Also, yeah, very fair point from the chat. Kenny Gainwell, another big winner. I mean, their skill sets complement each other so well, like a split backfield between Gainwell and Tucker. I mean, obviously, you kind of tip your hand to the defense, like what you're doing there a little bit, because Tucker's probably not going to catch a ton of passes. But man, you give both of those guys, what, 10 to 13 touches if you didn't have Bucky, and like both those guys are very fantasy relevant.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think I would lean Sean Tucker goal line stuff for sure. How many touchdowns do you guys think Sean Tucker scored last year rather, top of mind?
I know the answer.
Oh, you know it? Okay, Pete. How many?
Sorry, say the question again.
How many touchdowns did Sean Tucker score last year as the third guy in the committee?
I'm going to guess 5 or 6.
Or 8. Yeah.
Scored 8. Wow.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, he did have the 1 3-touchdown game where they rode the hot hand at the goal line late in the I think it was a showdown slate, to be honest. But yeah.
Let's recap this team that we just drafted so we don't leave that hanging there. This was our 2-4-9-3 build. We started with those 4 early running backs: Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, DeAndre Swift. Our quarterbacks, Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix. Our wide receivers, Ladd McConkey, Cortland Sutton, Jordan Addison, Xavier Worthy, Stephon Diggs, Antonio Williams, Brandon Ayuk, Trey Harris, Pat Bryant. Tight end room, Jake Ferguson, Hunter Henry, Jake Tongas. I would say like it would have been nice to get like a Chiga Okonkwo instead of Tongas on this team. Like maybe a slightly better third tight end, but otherwise I think this came together nicely.
I was just about to say, I'm so sorry for the Tongas pick.
You should be.
We were paralyzed. We were paralyzed.
I think, let the record show, I have only clicked Tongas out of, respect and deference to my co-host. Any shares of Jake Tongas on my portfolio were taken against my will.
Okay, who knows?
I do see it like in some of those scenarios, like if you have the Sadiq, if you wanted to handcuff the like Kittle in like a 3 or 4 tight end room or whatever. But man, I hate paying for early season production and what is like very likely a 0 when it matters.
Yeah, I am. I'm with you, but otherwise, this is a good team. I think I prefer the first draft, but in terms of how do you do a high T build, I think this is a good example of how to do that. You got to hammer wide receiver and mix in a myriad of profiles here where you got floor plus upside to match those early season wideouts, like when you can. I think if Brandon Ayuk is a commander and he's active week 1, this team is like insane.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's a blend of some like veteran target earners and then dudes like Addison, Worthy. You're hoping Antonio Williams, like guys that can pop off for like 20-point games there. And then you just need Ferg and Henry to just be absolute rock solid, which is kind of what they've always been. So,
JGFC has an interesting one in the chat there. Do you think that Ertz goes back to Washington? Like the Ertz stuff was always a byproduct of Cliff Kingsbury, in my estimation. Like he loved him. He moved him from Arizona to there. And like, would it muddy up that tight end room is like kind of like the macro point? Absolutely. But like, I don't know, man. New offensive coordinator. I don't think they do that.
Yeah.
Kind of forgot about Zach Ertz.
Yeah.
Please retire, bro. You're 35. Yeah. Go be a father.
Christopher says Jolly over Tungus. Christopher, I will give you that Jolly's a much more fun 0 to take, but I think we're looking at a couple of zeros.
The headline on NFL.com for the latest article about Zach Ertz is tight end Zach Ertz, 35, doesn't want ACL injury from 2025 to be his final play. This guy's going to ruin a tight end room 100%. Man.
I mean, what is that even? Like, you don't want it to be your final play, so you're going to come out and do like one healthy snap and then retire? What are you actually trying to accomplish, dude? Like, you want people to remember you by that one snap you ran healthy of like, oh man, just like John Elway went out on top. So did Zach Ertz.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you thought, Zach Ertz was brutal to delaying Trey McBride's career, just wait until you see what Evan Ingram's going to do to Justin Jolly in Denver. You're going to love it.
Yeah.
Good stuff, guys. Felt fun to knock off the rust there, and we should be getting some CLV on that first Sean Tucker share from earlier.
Ooh, sharp draft, boys. Sharp draft indeed.
Let people know, John, you said you're running Membies today.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a baseball slate breakdown. There's a 2-game puck slate that I'll throw a couple drafts in there, and maybe talk a little hoops and what's going down there, just for people playing Showdown and doing some pick'em stuff and whatever.
Talk to me like I've been very much out of the loop. I had no clue that the Knicks had just turned into like the 2008 Colorado Rockies, who are just unable to lose in the playoffs. I mean,
very good comp, Pete. Very good comp.
It's the only comp I have. But would you say that they are way more live in the finals than those Rockies were versus that juggernaut Red Sox team?
No. I think they're more live against the Spurs than they are against OKC, but OKC, everything is just health based right now. Like, can they get J-Dub back? Can they get AJ Mitchell back? Like, that matters so much. I think whoever wins the game tonight wins the series. And I'm very concerned about OKC's health, but everything that the Knicks do really well, I think the defense of OKC combats better than the Spurs defense does. But then the Spurs have this big looming asterisk of is Wemby the greatest basketball player to ever live, and is it starting, this year onward? Because I mean, he could be even money for an MVP next year. He could. I don't know. My take is everybody should want not a Wemby team to win the NBA Finals this year, because it's going to be kind of like LeBron going to the finals like 8 consecutive years, where people start hating on it because they're sick of it. Like, Wemby has that career archetype right now where like they could be in the finals like 6 years in a row and I wouldn't bat an eye. They still have picks at hand. Their team's so deep. I just don't want to see it yet, kind of thing.
I'm opposite of John, where I think that the Knicks will fare better against the Thunder than the Spurs. And if
they're not healthy, for sure, yes.
I think just in general, man, I think the Spurs are just a huge problem for the Knicks, and just it would be really tough for them. But I think they can like bully the Thunder, though. I think they can make the Thunder play their game and take that to 7 and beat the Thunder. But we'll see, man. We'll see. This is I love this Knicks team, though, man. I think they're gonna give us a good finals no matter what.
Yeah, fully agree. Block this Sam guy in the chat. He's just spouting off about bullshit about me. Dude, I've won more money. I won more money playing hoops than that guy's ever seen in his life. Like,
All right, he's going into timeout. Do you want Eggers to go into timeout too for you hitting it with
Eggers
the
is
evergreen?
always in perma timeout.
I'll give him a timeout. Who else needs a timeout? All right. John's gonna run Membies here. My schedule, I'm doing Swolecast today. The ADP chasing guys will be live tonight. I think we'll have a ship chasing tomorrow afternoon. Jacob is out, but I think the band will get together. We'll have Best Ball Bash on Thursday. We might, Brick and I have been talking about getting a lulz together. You know, there's been a lot of chatter about prediction market stuff lately. Matt Kalish has been going off on X, so we might be due for an episode there. And then otherwise, behind the scenes, working on this next episode of So You Think You Can Tout. We have received the submissions from the duos. Those are about to be judged, and we will have announcements on that in a new episode, hopefully coming out soon.
Love it, man. Let's get set up. I think the prediction market stuff would be really fun because the ETR show on the prediction stuff was really good.
Yeah, I actually just listened to that this morning. So yeah, we'll try to get the band back together for that. And yeah, next week, of course, Off and On the Clock will be back noon Eastern, and we will be covering a side contest. If you guys have one that you really want us to do, like weekly winners, let us know. If you just love the Eliminator and want us to go back to that, and who knows, we never know what's going to be in the lobby these days because they're just pumping out fun contests. So if you want to comment later in the week when you see what the menu is, feel free to do so. But we're down to bounce around.
Absolutely.
All right. For Nez, for John, thank you to the chat, except for the two people who were just put in a timeout. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the Badge Bros, and go become a Badge Bros member so you can check out the members only content. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.